Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Wilderness Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Rob Minturn, physical therapist, strength and conditioning specialist, owner and founder of the Wilderness Fitness Institute. I hope you guys are having an awesome Saturday. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're thinking, man, that guy looks tired, I'm not tired. I actually slept fantastic last night. I think it was 8:45 when I went to bed. Woke up around 6. It's now 7:12. So just hanging out this morning. Evidently, I look like I'm still asleep. So I just wanted to address that in case you're watching it on YouTube. I feel great. Also wanted to say thank you for everyone who has downloaded or subscribed and downloaded and or shared the podcast with some friends and family. I checked the numbers again this morning just before I hopped on here, and I'm getting closer to reaching the 3,000 overall download, but the 2,000 download goal for 2025. And that's all thanks to you guys sharing the podcast and introducing it to other friends and family. So keep doing that. I really appreciate that. It's cool to see the trend going upward, kind of like the stock market. Um, so again, thank you for that. If you're not subscribed, certainly subscribe so that way you don't miss an episode. I try to get these out weekly. Hunting season's coming up, so I'm going to be pre-recording some of these so that way they can continue to drop each week. But today, I wanted to talk about the top 11 reasons why you won't go to the gym. These are an accumulation of the last 8 or 9 years working as a physical therapist, more in the clinic. Before I was a physical therapist, I did some training with my exercise science degree. We did some in school and then did some on the side. And obviously, when I was doing that, people were already going to the gym, so it really wasn't an issue that popped up. But as a clinician, I find myself having to give reasons why folks should go to the gym and addressing these barriers, why folks should go to the gym. And I wanted to bring these to light because every time I bring it up to every person that I see in the clinic, every single person. Do you have a gym membership? That's part of my eval. That's one of my questions on my intake. And then typically, if it's the answer is no, I ask why. Not because I'm trying to be judgmental or anything like that, but more so like, what is the reasoning behind it? Is it time? Is it too expensive? Is it you can't afford it? You don't know what you're doing, right? So these are an accumulation of that. Some people are a lot more resistant on joining a gym or getting a home gym set up. Some people are very open to it. They just needed somebody to ask them, like, what's up with you not having a membership? And then they join and then they just take it from there. So these are an accumulation of the last 8 or 9 years of me being a physical therapist. And let's dive right on in. So the first reason, and probably the most uh, common reason that people tell me anyway, is they don't have time. The Unpacking that, so I'm going to unpack all of these, right? There's 11 responses that I've gotten written down. There's probably more that people give, but these are the 11 that came to mind when I was writing up this outline. So the first one being time. Um, my simple answer to that, well, then it's not a priority to you. Again, it's not a judgmental thing. It's more so, plain and simple, it's not a priority. We don't have time to do anything. We all have the same 24 hours in a day as far as what's available to us. Some people spend that working one job, some people spend that working two or three jobs. Some people spend that with their work and then their dog. Some people spend that with their work, their dog, and then their kids, right? And or their spouse. So everybody's got the same 24 hours in a day. It just everybody's allotment to given scenarios and given like given tasks is different. So when someone says they don't have time, again, it comes down to a priority because we all have the same amount of time available to us in terms of the 24 hours, but where is that time being spent on that pie chart? That's the big thing. So if it's not in the gym or working out, um, it certainly like it's just not in the top probably three or four things of your daily priority list. And I would encourage you to, if you're listening to this, write down your like daily priorities, right? Is it cooking? Do you have cooking on there every day? Maybe that's something that you can modify and cook 3 times a week. And when you do cook, you cook enough. For me, like I love to have it fried eggs in the morning, like over easy eggs with the runny yolk. I know that's not doable right now with my work schedule, my commute, and everything else that I got to get done between this business, working full time, taking care of my own health. Um, and so I hard boiled eggs, right? I hard boil eggs on Sundays for the rest of the week, and I eat hard boiled eggs every day at work. It's not fun, but at least I'm still getting my eggs in, right? I'm still getting the nutrition in. So I'm saving myself time so that way I have time to do other things. I would encourage you to look at your daily routine and uh, be able to maybe look at one or two things and modify how you're doing that so that way you have time to do some other things too. Okay. And maybe it's not going to the gym. Maybe you're already doing that. And maybe it's something else like reading or going to the park with your kids or training your dog or something like that. Um, Reason number two is it's too expensive. And that is that is also a big reason why folks say no to working with me. When I tell them the price, it's much more expensive than what they thought it was going to be. Um, and which is okay, right? You have a perception of what you're expecting to pay, but expensive is definitely a subjective phrase, subjective term, whatever, however you want to think of that. It's very subjective. Expensive for a home for someone who's making $30,000 a year is going to be very different than expensive for someone who's making 200K a year, right? So expensive is very subjective. Someone who gets a brand new bow every year does not perceive that as expensive. Obviously, they're spending 3K, $3,500 on a brand new bow. That's not expensive to them. But for someone like me, that would be expensive. Like that seems ridiculous. I've had the same Matthews DXT since I was a senior in high school. I bought it March of my senior year in high school in 2011. So it's to me that's expensive to buy a brand new bow every year. So it's very subjective in terms of it is too expensive. A gym membership is too expensive. But I will say a 40, 50, even an $80 gym membership, even a $100 gym membership, right? $1,200 a year at the most, like that is far cheaper and you're going to feel better, but that is far cheaper than most people's deductibles when they have to have surgery or they have to go in and have an operation or have to go see specialists. Like they go to the primary, then they go see a specialist, and they do something, then they go see another specialist, right? That's far cheaper to have a gym membership than it is to do all that stuff because you got to take into consideration time off of work, your co-pays or co-insurances, all of these other factors, the gas that you're spending to get there, the inconvenience of your schedule, right? Because it's not something that's a routine thing going to the doctor, at least I hope it's not. So now all of a sudden that becomes too expensive, but that it's not perceived as too expensive because it's something that you have to do, right? It's not something that you get to do or you're forcing yourself to do despite you not wanting to. Like you have to because your health is in a situation where you have to do that stuff in order to get it taken care of. Why wait, right? Why wait for something to be that bad for you to have to go spend that kind of money, that kind of time off of work, that kind of time away from your family in order to do something? Just spend the $1,200 in a gym membership at the most. Where I'm going to the gym right now, it's 83 bucks a month. Some places are 40 bucks a month, 45 bucks a month. So um, again, expensive is a very subjective term. Same thing as you don't have time. This third reason I have down on here, and now these are starting to get out of order as far as like frequency that they're being said to me, is you're afraid of getting made fun of. That is it's a very real reason. And that I think comes from the lack of confidence and the lack of self-confidence in the knowledge base, I would say, the knowledge of are you moving correctly? The knowledge of what you're doing, is it correct? So that is typically, in my experience, that is what that is stemming from. And there are simple things to do for that, right? Hire somebody, hire a trainer, hire like someone, an online coach, that's just going to teach you what to do, not just give you things to do. And that's typically what personal training is. Like when you're in person, is they're just giving you things to do. Obviously, you're there with someone, so you're not going to feel super self-conscious because you're there with somebody else that's showing you the ropes. So maybe that's what you need to get started. But afraid of getting made fun of, that's a very real concern. But again, do something about it. Don't avoid the gym because you're afraid of getting made fun of. Find ways to work within the gym. Find ways to get around that fear, so that way you get comfortable going to the gym because no, honestly, no one's there making fun of you. I've been in many gyms. I've worked coast to coast as a traveler. Every time I go into the gym, I'm not going in there. I watch people move because that's what I do for a living. So I can't turn that part of my brain off, but I'm not in there making fun of people for for the things that they're doing or how they're moving, right? I don't know where they're coming from. It could be their first day. They could be taking a big leap of faith. And if someone does something or says something to you that discourages that, then that's on them. They probably have their own insecurities that they're dealing with. Um, Another reason is the gym stinks. This one killed me. This one freaking killed me, honestly, because I work with people that on the online side of things, with the Wilderness Fitness Institute side of things. I work with folks that do not shower for a weekend. I work with folks that do not shower for a week to 10 days. Myself included. Like last year, I elk hunted for 15 days, 14, 15 days, something like that. And I had a break in between there between one buddy leaving and then more buddies getting in. So I was able to shower at a YMCA. But the gyms don't stink that bad compared to a bunch of guys being dudes or gals being ladies and not showering. So that one is I can't accept that as a legit reason not to go. Um, Another reason I get is that you don't like people. If that's you, that's fine. You don't have to talk to anybody. Don't join a community-based fitness center then. Don't join a group-based fitness center, or CrossFit, maybe an Orange Theory Fitness. Don't join gyms like that. Join a gym where it's a traditional weightlifting gym where you go in, do your thing. Everybody's got their headphones in anyway. They really don't want to talk to you anyway. Um, you might have to share equipment. One of the gyms that I was at in Wyoming, or the only gym that I was at in Wyoming, um, there was a gal there that there was one squat rack, and I noticed the days that I was there, I usually squat or deadlift the 2 days that I go to the gym. So it's one or the other. And that day happened to be, God, I think I was deadlifting. And I knew she was deadlifting that day too, because I've been going there for a little bit, keeping track of who's using what. So that way I can time things out to where I'm not getting in the way. They're not in my way. Just kind of interjecting and a smooth interaction without anybody's routine getting jacked up. But that morning I knew, I think I was there late, she was there late, something, but I knew that we were going to have to use a squat rack together. Not a very social person, but she ended up being from Wisconsin and ended up hitting it off, and we're good friends now. So you never know what something's going to turn into. But again, I don't go there looking to socialize a whole ton unless I know people outside of there. I'll say hi to you, but I'm not in there looking to make friends simply because I usually got other things going on. I got to get back to work or get going to work, get back to the house and shower and get going to work. So you don't have to like people in order to go to the gym, is basically what that comes down to. You don't have to socialize. You're not another reason, I think this is number six, is you're not a morning person and you're exhausted after work. Fuck me. You've got two times to really go to the gym if you're a working person, before work or after work, right? And if you don't start work until 10 a.m., well, you might be in luck with not being a morning person and still being able to go to the gym after work. But you've really got to pick one, and you're really looking for, unless you want to go on the weekends. But if you're telling me that you're not a morning person and you're exhausted after work, I'm gonna bet that you're not gonna go on the weekends either, because you're gonna find an excuse to not go on the weekends too, because you have other things going on, like you want to go camping, fishing, hiking, that sort of stuff, which I encourage you to do. But if you're making excuses as far as you're not a morning person and you're exhausted after work, you gotta fucking choose one. Like you just do. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna sit here and patty cake around that. If that's a reason, you're simply not looking to get better. You're simply not looking to improve your health and improve your fitness. You really don't want it that bad, to be honest. That one, I've heard that before, and it's not, to me, it's not a legitimate reason. You're looking for reasons to not go, like you're digging deep for reasons not to go. Another reason, this is reason number seven, you're too far to the gym. This one can be legit. Like when I was in Wyoming, people are coming from quite a ways away because it's pretty rural where I was at. So you're driving for quite a ways. And if there's a snowstorm or something, it might be hard for you to get to the gym because then you got to go to work, and the commute to the gym, like if it increases by a third in time and it was already a 20-minute drive, like you're looking at 25, maybe a 30-minute drive to the gym in the morning, that might jack up your routine. But again, it's not enough to completely fall off the rails. Do something at home for that day, right? If it's normally a 20-minute drive to the gym because you're in a rural area, like that is what it is. You can either move closer or suck it up and just get up a little bit earlier, a couple days a week. Um, but you don't have to go to the gym to do cardio, right? You don't have to. You can because they have more cardio equipment, especially if the weather gets crappy outside. In terms of cold, rain, snow, sleet, whatever, you can certainly go to the gym and do your cardio, but you don't have to go to the gym and do cardio. So at most, you might be going to the gym twice a week just to lift weights. I think that's I think it's a reasonable expectation that you can do that twice a week. Maybe it's once during your work week, and then it's once on a Saturday morning just to knock it out of the park, so that way you have the rest of the weekend to yourself. Um, but you can't tell me that it's too far to the gym and then drive halfway across the state or down to another state and pick up like a side by side, a tractor, a new gun, right? You're driving halfway across the state because you found a deal on a new gun. You can't tell me that and then do something like that. So that one throws it out the window for me as far as a legitimate reason. But yeah, just know that if especially folks going through the program with me, you're learning how to do the least amount necessary to get the most amount of benefit. So that's something that you would only be driving to the gym a couple days a week anyway. Um, Reason number 8 is you don't want to get ripped. You're simply not going to get that ripped with going to the gym a couple times a week. That's not going to happen. If that's not your goal, it won't happen. People don't hit goals. People don't get to that physique by accident. It is you are very intentional with your training. You're very intentional with your nutrition. You're very intentional with your sleep and your recovery. Um, you don't get ripped and jacked out of your mind, all veiny and muscly, if that's not your intent. Okay, so that one you had like it takes months, years to get to that point. So don't worry about that. If that's not what you want, that's not what you want, and you're not going to achieve it by accident. Okay. You have a home gym. Reason number 9 is you have a home gym. Um, that's great. If someone has a home gym, like they have a beefed up home gym, they have enough weight to truly load the body to get fatigued and have to set the weight down with 3 reps, 4 reps, 5 reps. That's perfect. And obviously, if you have that kind of weight, you're gonna have weight that you can do for more than that, for anywhere from 8 to 12 or 15 plus reps for the rep ranges. So if you have a home gym, that's great. Use it, right? But folks that have a home gym and it's a second closet, that's a problem. Um, my question to you is, have you been using that home gym, right? If you haven't been using it, then it's not working, right? So sell the stuff, use that money towards your membership for the year, and then start going to the gym. We have a bathroom to use the bathroom. We shower, poop, and pee in the bathroom, right? We have a kitchen to cook. We boil water. We use the frying pan. We use the oven. We use the sink. We do the dishes in the kitchen. We're not going to the bathroom in the kitchen. We have the bathroom for that. We have our bedrooms for sleep and sex, right? That's what our bedroom should be for. Getting dressed in the morning, that sort of stuff. We have our living room for hanging out, watching TV, reading a book, talking with friends, playing games. That's what the living room is for. We don't cook in the living room. We don't pee in the living room. Not supposed to pee in the living room. Hopefully you haven't been. Um, and so we have specific rooms for specific reasons. So if you have a home gym and it's intermixed with something else, that can be a problem because you get distracted with all of these other tasks that you're doing, right? The folks that do well with the home gym, it's not intertwined with everything else. It's its own entity. So that way, when you go to the gym, you're going to the gym to work out. You're going to your home gym to work out, and then you're done with it, and then you move on to something else. You're not doing something in between. You're not cooking breakfast for the kids in between, something like that. I lived with friends that my buddy, this was in Utah, he somehow was able to do that. He would go out, do a set of deadlifts, come back in, flip the pancakes, go back out, do another set of deadlifts, come back in, stir the eggs. Um, and so if I was awake, I would do that. I would help him out with the kids when I was living with them in Utah. But it was pretty incredible what he was able to do, but there are very few people that are that dedicated that are going to be able to do that. I think anyway, from my experience. Um, So if you have a home gym and you haven't been using it, ask yourself, are you going to be able to, can you set like a space aside for that? Or is that just always going to be intermixed with the rest of your stuff? And if it is, then it might not be your best option. If it's been sitting there for 5 years, 10 years, and you haven't touched it, chances are you're not going to fucking touch it, man. So change it up, right? Like come to grips with yourself, sell the stuff, use that money toward a gym membership, like I said earlier, and then move on with your life, right? It's black or white, like you're using it or you're not. If you're not, just use a different strategy to get more fit, right? It's not working, so change it up. The last reason, so I split this into two parts. So this is reasons 10 and 11. But reason number like 10A is going to be over like the overarching thing is gym anxiety. You walk into the gym, your heart rate immediately goes up. It's kind of like white coat syndrome. When people go into the doctor's office, their blood pressure goes up, their heart rate goes up, the respiratory rate goes up. Just because they're simply in a doctor's office, people typically aren't going to the doctor for, I shouldn't say this because people do go for an annual checkup. Just, I think it's after 65, though, 60 or 65 when people start doing that, even though nothing's wrong, they just go in for an annual checkup. We should start that beforehand. Should be a good thing to do like in your 30s. Get blood work done so that way you have things to compare to, right? If you don't know what's going on, um, that's a whole different conversation. We'll save that actually. Gym anxiety. Going down rabbit holes here this morning. Gym anxiety. So you're walking in, you're nervous, you don't know what to do. It's the first time in there. You're talking with the front desk person. What they're saying is going one ear and out the other. You have no clue what they're saying. You're just nodding your head. Yes, like, I know exactly what you're talking about. This is the procedure and how to check in. This is the procedure. Like, this is where the guys' locker room is. This is where the girls' locker room is. This is where the bathrooms are. And as they're talking, you have no freaking idea what's going on, right? You're just looking around for the weight stacks. You're looking around for the squat racks. You're looking to see if you know anyone there. You're hoping that you don't see anyone there that you know because it's your first time going to this gym. You're new to working out. You don't want to see anyone because you don't want to be embarrassed in front of them. Going back to afraid of getting made fun of. That reason number three. So the not sure what to do in the gym or that newness of the gym, I get that myself. I've been to, I think this is my, I'm up here in Alaska now, and I think this is my 15th contract. Like I've worked in, oh God, one, two, three, four. I've worked, I think, in 18 different, maybe 20 different like cities throughout my 9 year career. Um, probably about 12 to 15. Maybe 20, yeah, maybe 18. I don't know. Anyway, now that I'm thinking about it, because some places have been twice. Um, but every time that I do go to a new gym, I get a little anxious walking in, right? It's new people, it's new faces, it's a new routine, it's a new process. So it's a little anxiety inducing, but the more that I've done it, the quicker it gets. The quicker I get over it, right? It's like one or two sessions and then I'm good. It's like I have my routine, I'm good to go, right? And then after that, I'll start branching out in the gym and finding other things that I want to use. But it takes like one or two visits to the gym to get used to it. Um, if that's you, you're just walking in and like, holy shit, this place is big, and you have no idea like where anything is. Take your time. Just go in and walk around a little bit. Like no one's judging you for walking the place and looking at everything that they have after you've done the tour. No one's gonna care. Just get familiar with the place, but continue to go because it's going to get better. Think back about something new that you've done in the past, where maybe going to a new church, right? Um, you're nervous because you don't know who's going to be there. You walk in because that's another thing too. Like I get very much more anxious about going into a new church than I do a new gym. Just because I exercise for a living. That's my field. So it's not so bad for me. But going to a new church, that I get butterflies in my stomach when I go to a new church for whatever reason. And I've been in plenty of different churches again because of the same thing. I've worked in many different cities, so I've been to many different churches, and just the more that you go to that church, the more you get to know the people there, the easier it gets just to come in, say hi, sit in your pew, do your thing. New grocery store, same deal, right? You find a new routine in that new grocery store. Um, it's slower at first because you got to find the pathway that with all the stuff that you're looking for, but eventually you go in there, you get your routine, and you're in and out. Okay, it's the same thing with the gym. Um, But two reasons why folks get gym anxiety, I think, is they're not sure what to do, and their exercise technique is not like they're self-conscious about their exercise technique. If it's going back to reason number three, like afraid of getting made fun of. Um, as far as not sure what to do, they don't know what to do with their programming, right? They don't know what to do with the weight stacks. They don't know how to load and unload the barbell. They don't know how to do like the gym stuff. They don't know how to do it. Hire somebody. That is like there are people out there that do this for a living, myself included, that will help you through that process, right? And you might know what to do, but it's the implementation piece that you are not great at, which is like pretty standard for most everybody. As far as changing a root, like if I ever buy a house and I set roots down, I don't know when that's going to be, but if I ever do, and I need a new roof on my place, like I know it needs a new roof, but implementing the process of putting a new roof on, I've done it once. That doesn't, I'm not a pro at it, so I'm going to have to hire somebody out to do that, right? Um, so if you're not sure about something, get someone on your side, get someone on your team that's going to show you how to do something and teach you how to do it so that way you can be independent with it. Okay. Um, and again, there's no judgment for them because that's what they do for a living. Like they're used to teaching people that don't know what they're doing in the gym. Um, Another reason for gym anxiety is your exercise technique is bad. Like you're trying out new movements, you're trying out new weights, and you're self-conscious about what you look like. Again, that's get someone that's teaching you how to do this stuff. If you're someone that needs in person, go to a PT. I got someone on my caseload in the clinic. They're coming in for like neck stuff, neck and right arm stuff, but they are going to be training for a higher level. I forget the word that they used, but they need to improve their overall fitness for that. And with their medical history, they could use some help from like a PT, right? So they're getting a new referral for that. So that way I can help them with the exercise technique as we work through some of the deficits and improving their fitness. I don't want to say deficits, as we work with the impairments that they're dealing with, and it's a chronic thing, to get them to move better, get them to move more efficiently, and get them stronger and progress their exercise routine. All while they're going to take this and move it into the gym once they're comfortable. So it's um, again, it's getting people in your corner that are there to help you out, not there to break you down. Yes, you're gonna have to fork out money. Yes, you're gonna have to fork out cash, but you don't make it just to take it with you to the grave. And you're gonna spend that money elsewhere, right? You're gonna spend it on a new boat. Going back to the too expensive thing. You're gonna spend that money elsewhere. Why not spend it on yourself? It's again, it's a very short, especially if you're young. It's a very short-term investment or a very long-term investment. It's a very short-sighted thing to look at it and be like, well, that's too expensive now. But you're going to gain knowledge working with me anyway. I can't speak to other coaches, but you're going to gain knowledge that you take with you for the rest of your life. So if you want to look at it, if you're 40 years old and you live to your 80, that's 40 years of investment. The price that you're going to pay now, it's really not that much, especially if you're buying a new bow every year, every other year. Like you're going to spend more money on the new bow than you are working with me. So it's a matter of priority there, but make sure that like if your exercise technique is shaky, get someone on your side, get someone in your corner that's going to give you some exercise technique feedback, and make sure that you're doing things correctly, safely, and optimally, so that way you're getting the most out of the exercise. Okay. So those are the 11 reasons. There seems to be a lot of resistance with getting a gym membership for one reason or another. It's something that like I bring it up and I can tell like people are very open to it or they're like walls immediately go up. It's like a new, it's like a new relationship, like boyfriend girlfriend deal. Like they get comfortable and then something happens and it triggers like the walls to go up because they've been hurt in the past, right? So it's I don't know what it is about the gym, but it does that in the clinic to people. Um, that's you. Think of a time that you really wanted to do something and you did it anyway because the hand you were dealt forced you to do it, right? Probably going to work, like you go to work even though you don't want to, but because the hand for you have bills to pay, you have a family to take care of, a dog to feed, kids to feed, husband, wife to feed, hobbies that you want to do. Like you were forced to go to work even when you don't want to go to work. Either you're going to make time for your fitness and your health now, or it's going to have to become a priority later on. It's going to force your hand to be a priority later on when you're going to the doctor visits, you're going to these medical appointments. Um, you're having to take time off work. It's really preventative care versus reactive care. Which side of the spectrum do you want to be on? Preventative, you're going to have a higher quality life. You're going to enjoy your life a lot more. Yes, you're spending cash up front, but you're not having to do the reactive care and be sick and go to all these doctor's appointments, take time off work, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, insurance might pay for that, but is it really worth it? I encourage you to do some deep thought, right? Like, what are the reasons why? And really evaluate, like, really look at your daily priorities. If your health and fitness if your health and fitness is not in the top three, maybe four in your daily priorities, like I encourage you to look at your priorities and start to shift some things around. Do some things to make your health in those top three daily priorities so that way you can get on top of your health. You can perform well in the mountains. You can do whatever you want to do with your kids. It's not always about being having six-pack abs, right? It's about being able to do what you want to do without feeling smoked afterwards or without hurting afterwards. That's what it really boils down to. Again, the gym anxiety. If you're not sure what to do, your exercise technique is a little questionable, hire someone, get someone in your corner. Have someone show you or don't hire someone that's just going to give you what to do. Don't hire someone that's just going to give you a workout and you go do it. Have them give you the reasons, give you the methodology behind it, because that is one of the biggest reasons I think that people don't go to the gym is they don't know what to do, right? They don't know the reasons behind what they're doing. They don't know the methodology. They don't know how to do the thing themselves. So once what they're given to do is up, they're like, oh, what do I do now? Right. And so if you're taught what to do and how to do it, how to progress it, like you can be your own trainer. You can adjust for your time schedule. You can adjust for maybe some aches and pains. Like that is the reason why you want to be taught how to work out, in my opinion. And the folks that do that, it's going to be the best money they spent. The folks that have done that in the past, it's going to be they are thankful because they know what to do. They know how to adjust things. They know how to continue to train through things. So they're not losing on their fitness goals. They continue to progress despite things popping up in life, despite things popping up with some sort of physical ailment. Okay. Um, all right. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Send it along to a gym buddy and or a gym friend, a family member or a friend. I don't care who it is, hunting buddy. Pass this podcast along, leave a review, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Peace.